Astraeos launches to a mixed reception. New creatures arrive with Love Ascended. And everything pointing towards the beer-guzzling Dinotherium to be the next ARK edition. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So, Community Crunch 445 drops to us, revealing what we already know, of course. Astraeos is here, available now for you to download, and every platform available to play it on. And with a giant mix of recipients and how they felt about this launch and how it was delivered. Didn't help that leading up to Astraeos being launched, there was a plethora of issues. Still feels like there are issues with servers at the moment, with apparently rumours that the entire Nitrado network is being hit by very salty mega tribes out there. And like, come on, bro, if that really is the case, it's just insane that one, that the whole network is being held hostage to some salty player out there, and two, they think they can do this and get away with it. I really hope there's legal ramifications as a result of these attacks that have definitely damaged ARK over the last couple of days. The state of the servers has been pretty appalling, with anybody, especially in the EU, unable to connect to their servers. And if rumours are true and this is the reason why, down to just a mega tribe not happy about them being attacked and deciding to drop the entire network of servers, come on. It's unreal, it's unthinkable that even now, so many years on, with all the DDoS issues we've had in the past with servers, this is still even worse. How vulnerable servers are to being attacked. It's been happening for a few weeks now, but just recently, in the lead up to this launch, with the servers being down as much as they have been, of course, set a very rocky, dark road to its launch. And I'm sure Wildcard themselves were probably debating on whether to extend, push back the launch of Astraeos as a result. A lot of angry players were ready and waiting for this one, and of course definitely didn't help tear into the negativity that was responded to the release of this map. Because look, Astraeos, love it. Nakatus, love him. His work's fantastic. There is nobody I have more faith in to deliver a good, strong, well-playable map than Nakatus, perhaps even beyond Wildcard at this point. And what's available at launch? There's a lot to see and do. It's a giant playable space, even incorporating the teleportation function you know from Fjorda to help you get around, because there's so much to see on this map. But the elephant in the room is this 35% complete release. I've said up until this point, I completely sympathize and I completely agree. A 35% complete map doesn't feel correct, doesn't feel like a right business practice, and I am concerned for what this might precedent in map launches in the future. The only saving grace I really truly have with this is the reputation of Nakatus and Nakatus's work. I think in any other capacity, I'd be definitely a lot more critical on this release, believe it or not. I guess a good comparison is perhaps the current giant debate over GTA 6 when that comes out later this year, and everybody's speculating it's going to be priced at the $100 mark. That almost taboo giant price tag that any other game wouldn't get away with. But GTA and its reputation easily justified by the consumer base to dive in and purchase, because it's GTA, right? The reputation's there. And I think that somehow applies, at least from my perspective, on Astraeos. I'm happy to invest into something that's not fully complete, with the trust that what will come in the future will definitely deliver. But I think what is to be delivered with this map should at least have been offered, create some expectation of what we can find in the future with playing this map and what more will change. We at least know what we can see right here, right now won't change. Don't be worried about building in specific spots and then it changing later on. Nakatus already confirmed that what you can see on and what you can play on will be what it is. And there's a lot in this 35%. There is 6 artifact caves, there is 2 crazy wild bosses to defeat, all of the Extinction content that's been roped into it, a few Scorched Earth creatures, a few Extinction creatures, and of course this very controversial Maeguana wing. Sorry, not Iguana wing, Maeguana. I'll get it right one day. But for people diving into this that perhaps played the free version, I can definitely see some reservation on whether to tuck in right here, right now. It is, from what I can understand, it is just this Extinction Island being offered in this premium version at launch. And many people will draw that comparison to the free version. What am I actually paying for right now? Which brings us back to why release it at 35% complete? Why did they decide to bring forward that June release date it seemingly had to offer an incomplete version that obviously a lot of people aren't happy about? At least I think from my stance there's perhaps two reasons why. One is that every premium map that we've seen so far, even Svartalfheim that the cart has produced prior to this, was incomplete, and you paid to see the rest of it later on. And perhaps that wasn't Nakartas' intention, and Wildcard said, well, fine, we'll agree to that and release it as is. Or there is some real money issues behind the scenes, and this is just another opportunity to drive forward a bit of income quick and early on. Either way, as I've said, I'm very cautious on supporting this type of business practice. Whilst we had something that was incomplete in the past, Raasclark, which is a great comparison there, that was incomplete, that was a free map, so you can't really compare the two anyway. The only justification I've got with this release is Nakartas and his reputation, and that really is truly all it is. So anybody outside of understanding Nakartas and Nakartas' work, I can completely understand and resonate with. But that's definitely not stopped official adoption. There was 100 slot servers all dropped last night and instantly all full, with Wildcard needing to drop a wealth more servers, especially to satisfy official PvE and of course official PvP. But with this launch, good grief, there were so many issues. Unfortunately, I believe it was related to the hope of moving your save from the free version to the premium version and having the two conflicting maps. But a lot of people, including myself, at launch on Steam, couldn't play it. It was unavailable. You click the button to play the map and nothing happened, and it took another patch to resolve that. As well as server hosting, I hear there's a lot of steps if you want to play the free version now. Just look at the steps here. If you were attempting to play this last night, a lot of explanations being offered to explain exactly how to get around these black screen issues on Xbox and on PlayStation, different ways around them, to close the app, press options, manage game content, install stuff. It was definitely very, very confusing in this launch, and again dampened what could have been a fantastic release. And then there was this thing, the arrival of a creature I was very excited to check out and very excited to see delivered to Ark Survival Ascended, but there was a massive, and still is a massive plethora of criticism over this creature, which really does get me kind of sitting here baffled on how can you win in this scenario, because the giant major criticism leading up to Astraeos' launch was there was no new creature being offered with this map. And then I guess Wildcard heard that feedback and decided to rush bringing something in that a lot of you out there have been asking for a while, asking to see the Maywing in particular being reintroduced to Ark, and Wildcard listened. They brought it in. Yes, obviously reskinned version of the creature, which now has, as we've seen, leading up to a giant wave of criticism on it just being a skinned creature and it just being a creature that everybody wants and now makes Astraeos a pay-to-win map. So in this scenario, I just don't understand how anybody could win. There's a creature, we've been given it. I agree, it's definitely going to tarnish the Maywing when that comes with Gen 2, but I'm very happy I don't have to wait until Gen 2 for that to arrive. Though I agree, this is only accessible within a paid map, though worth noting anybody who doesn't own Astraeos can actually spawn this in on their server, or can get somebody to bring this back from Astraeos and mate and carry on their babies to have their own Maywings, Iguana wings, Iguana Maywings, whatever the wings thing's called. And those out there that don't agree with this, the Maywings coming out to you with Gen 2 when that does in the future. But equally, I can see now I've got this thing, why do I want a Maywing? What's the point in looking forward to a Maywing at all? There won't be. It's a lose-lose situation, it seems, or a win-win situation, depending on whichever way you look at this. Me personally though, I'm very happy to see this in the game, super excited. This is the best starter creature by far. This is the best traveling creature by far. Great to see this early on, rather than waiting a whole year or so for the Maywing to arrive, and I'm glad something was rushed out to offer a variant of the Maywing this early on. And I guess the criticism that it's going to face as a result, it's got to be accepted. Though for anybody that's disagreeing, I'd love to understand or hear, what would you have preferred? Would you have preferred Astraeos not releasing with a creature at all, or it releasing with this Maywing variant? Comment below, let me know. And with it, the arrival of Love Ascended, a lot of rates, a lot of things to do. We talked about this last weekend. Chocolate boxes are the best feature in the game all year round, improving the health on all creatures, refilling their health, and of course 50% imprints as well. With this being the new arrival of this version of Love Ascended, the Lovebird, that's simply a iteration of the Featherlight that you know from Aberration. That doesn't seem to be offering any more than another creature you can kill, though once interacted with it will scare it away and try to flee, and reward you with the hearts that you need to use to craft any of the cosmetics within the event, as well as using for the fishing rods to also get box of chocolates too. And if you missed last year, this event brings back the love bugs too, though these ones aren't exactly as friendly as the lovebirds. If provoked, will definitely attack you and attack you pretty hard, so be prepared if you're attempting to take on a love bug. Which leaves us with a bit of a rocky launch of both this event and Astraeos. I did note that the devs are planning to extend the event as a result to compensate for all of the downtime on official servers. So these rates that you got going on, at least expect a few more days tacked onto the original advertised dates. And here's looking forward to Astraeos development, at least from a content perspective. I have found myself kind of wondering, what do I want to cover with this? The free version, there was so much to talk about with that on release. There's not seemingly anything actually new. Whilst there's some great variations and attempts at tackling a bunch of Extinction's mechanics, such as the OSDs and element veins and their corrupt variations, which all look amazing by the way, it's still stuff we already know. And from a guide perspective, as a content creator, it's kind of tough to figure out what is there to talk about that's cool, fresh and new to this. So I'm kind of wondering what we'll see down the road for this. Either way, if you're looking for an adventure, you can't go wrong with Astraeos. It's definitely brimming with it. It's got a lot of it, and just to wonder, is there enough of it in the premium version versus the free version at launch? But something hopefully that will arrive for free, the Dinotherium, the beer-guzzling elephant that was part of ARK Additions made by Garuga back in ASE and is now available as a mod in ASA, is apparently rumoured to be the next creature being brought into ARK Survival Ascended. It's been noted to be in the official ARK dev kit currently at the moment in its recent build, though no actual decent screenshots to share with you to hopefully prove otherwise. But if this is anything to go on, seeing that it is within the dev kit at the moment, it would suggest that the devs are working on bringing this one in soon. So it's possible all the speculation on things like the Concavenator and the Krylo may be completely wrong, and this will be the next creature you find being added to ARK soon. And a great creature at that, offering a bunch of different supportive mechanics, a very varied creature, a very strong creature, a nightmare to tame. You're going to want that beer. Getting prepared with this one without a doubt. And another support mechanic is another support mechanic. Who doesn't want something new, creating new buffs for your boss runners or PvPers in the future of ARK? So how are you feeling with Astraeos' launch? I would love to know. Really do comment below on your feelings with this one and the concerns that it might precedent, or perhaps even the opposite of that. Does this open up a window of opportunity for modders in the future? Does this simply just expand on offering more content to ARK, or should they held back on this being 35% complete and maybe waiting later? Or were you happy to play this at 35% complete? I would really love to know. So until the next one, my name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always,